Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Waffle Shop Daz.
Waffle Shop Aidan.
All right, before we go any further, got a competition we're running. All you got to do is go to our video, which is the MLB longest home runs. Go in the comments, type in Wrexham, and subscribe to the channel as well. And you could be in for a chance to win a 23-24 Wrexham home shirt. Very hard to get, not easy to come by.
No, they are hard to get, aren't they?
Very difficult to get. I don't know, it took me ages to try and get one, but eventually managed to get a couple. So there you go.
Decent.
So yeah, getting that to win that. Draw will be on Friday the 11th of August.
Yep.
We'll do that. So
subscribe to the channel.
Get in on it, yeah. Inside the Oregon Ducks, $270 million.
That's a lot of money.
Track and field facility. A few people have asked for this, and it's been interesting for us to see. I love track and field.
We've never reacted to any sort of track and field facility.
No, no, we haven't.
College.
No, we've done a lot of the
stadiums
and stuff like that, like college stadiums.
Basketball and
but I love track and field anyway. Oregon Ducks, isn't that where home of like Nike? Or where they are? Is it Eugene?
Yeah, I remember
Oregon?
you saying that.
I think did Phil Knight go to Oregon? Did he? Is he an alumni from Oregon?
I think so.
I think they get a lot of money from there, don't they? Anyway, let's go for it. Inside the Oregon Ducks, $270 million track and field facility.
Make sure you watch to the end of the video to see how to win this episode's special merch pack.
We've got to see what this is about.
What's going on, world? Brand new episode of Royal Key there on your screen. I'm your host, George Kill, and I'm here at the Oregon Track and Field Facility, the Hayward Field, with Coach Johnson, head coach of the track.
Doesn't even look like he wants to be there.
Coach, how you doing, man?
Not bad, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm already gonna dub it as the best track and field facility in the world, and I haven't even seen it yet. That's just how you guys do it here, right? There are three things I'm noticing here in this track and field facility. You guys have track surface pretty much everywhere. You guys have wood everywhere, and then the art just prevalent all over this facility. I know you sat down in some of the meetings to kind of get this thing going. Describe that sitting down, that entire process.
Yeah, it was one of those things to where I was asked to come in early on and just to provide insight. And my main role was to make sure that everything athlete related, I had a say in and something to do with. And so when you say that there's a surface everywhere, here's one of my roles in this meeting. From the time you get off the bus, time you get off the check-in and the warm-up field, you can put your spikes on. Everything is spike friendly. And you mentioned wood. We're famous for that. You know, Oregon is wood, wood is Oregon. So you're gonna see those Douglas fir beams outside that some people say look like Nike checks. Those things are gonna be prevalent throughout the whole facility. And then of course, from the art standpoint, want to make sure that we keep the athletes stimulated and visual. You know, one of those things where all the artwork was done by local artists here in Eugene, so just trying to give back as well.
I also noticed the Olympic nods. You have the rings down there, the saying.
In track and field, that's the ultimate. That's the creme de la creme of track and field meets to be able to make it Olympics. That's what we dream of as little kids, to have that here in the facility, as well as the Latin word for bigger, faster, stronger on the wall. So just lots of little tidbits and tides, even when we go outside and look at the tower. You know, the tower is shaped like an Olympic torch, as well as a baton, because we want to pass this legacy of track and field on for the next 100 years down the road.
Well, Coach, let's get into it. Let's start here actually where we are. What is this area that we're kind of standing in?
So this is our under the stands indoor training facility. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we have a little bit of weather that comes in here about 4 or 5 months out of the year. And so to be able to have some place to come and train to get out of the elements. And so what you have here is 6 lanes, 48-inch wide, the same surface that is on the outdoor track, 140 meters straight. You're gonna notice that there's 9 lanes on the outside, but then if you move right over, you're going to see lane 10 is what our athletes call it. And so that goes all around the facility, and it's 270 meters. So if we want to run some turns or some around the bends, we can do that inside as well.
Where does this area right here lead us into next?
It'll lead us right into the vault. It's 21 feet below ground. And so here we have all of our field event areas. And so you have the long jump, which is right behind you. You have the pole vault, which is right in front of you. You have the high jump here as well. And then you have our net where all of our throws. And all these distances, especially in the throws, was based off the world record. So we can get somebody come in here and throw and still be safe and be able to measure it without it being impeded by space.
Now, we mentioned art earlier. You guys are considered Nike U, right? No better storytellers than Nike. Explain this on the wall in the back.
Yeah, so if you look over here in the corner, it says "Just Do It" in blue, and then it says "No Limits, All Heart," with the heart of a beating duck in the middle. And then you have a man and a woman on each side. And
it's good artwork, that on the
design. Do you know what though? I'm just thinking here now. I'd love to know how many gold medalists or Olympians have come from this college.
Yeah.
Because that facility is just mint.
It is, isn't it?
Right? Do you know what I always find as well? Do you know what I mean? We both done quite a bit of running in our time, like obviously when I was younger, not so much now. I can't run a bath now. But when you see tram lines like that on a track, track lines, it makes you want to run.
Yeah, it does.
If you're walking, if we had them in the office here, as soon as you'd run everywhere, wouldn't you?
In their running form. So it's just one of those things to inspire. You see, "Love My Ducks." There was a nice song that some local people created here talking about I love my ducks and took off here. And then of course you get little ducks everywhere.
All right, Coach, this is not your average weight room, right? Describe the functionality in here.
You have your platforms, you have your racks, and of course everything just flows and seamless. So we'll start out here with our Olympic lifts. We'll start here with our jerk racks as well, and of course they go up and down. And then as you move on further through the facility, there's more platforms as well as you start to get into some of your free weights, some of your dumbbells, and some of your Olympic lifts as well. And then you have some of your cable machines. So lots of hip and thigh things there that we do with cables and a lot of pulley systems there. Really unique for track and field, and it's everything that we need to be functional.
Awesome, awesome. And then back to the art. So we have on this wall, Uncle Phil Knight, right? And Aunt Penny.
You see the Knights there, and then on this side here says Puddles, which is the name of the duck. And each bay has its own little artistic renderings there. One of the things here that I was really impressed during this 2.5 year process of putting this thing together and sitting in these meetings was their attention to detail. And if you look at all the door handles here, they're the images of our old grandstands. So the east and the west grandstands are by the door handles on every door that goes in here. So we wanted to make sure that we took the DNA of historic Hayward Field and put it in the new Hayward Field. So you'll see little touches of Hayward Field into the new Hayward Field as we speak. As we walk out of the vault there, you see this skylight, and there in the skylight, it was just a opening in the roof that allowed us to drop stuff down in here. One of our lead designers and the guy that was over the project sent a book around the table during our meeting and asked us if we ever been to the...
Right, I see why it's $270 million now. Because it's they built the stadium.
Yeah.
They've moved from one field to another, haven't they? The old Hayward to the new Hayward. Mint though.
How long ago do you reckon this was made? Does not say, no.
Don't know.
Louvre. You can look down into the Louvre and kind of see the city there, or replicas of the city. And so that was the inspiration on the skylight here. And then as we move here, these are all the head coaches that's ever been at the University of Oregon. All the coaches here were known for something, and you kind of see their hobbies or their habits or the things that they were interested in along. I'm a big golf guy. My fraternity is super important to me, as well as my hobbies. I fly drones there. So just little things like that to see, and then you kind of see the old stadium from what it used to look like to where it is now.
If you're a sneakerhead in or visiting Seattle, Washington, there's only one place you should be going for kicks, and that's Soulmates. Spring pieces. So if you can't make it into this, be sure to check them out on social too, at Soulmates 206 across all platforms. Soulmates, the best boutique in the Pacific Northwest.
I talked to Kenny Farr, right, Oregon football, and I remember him saying the inspiration behind that facility. They went to 6 different locations to kind of get inspiration. Did you guys do the same thing for this one?
Yeah, so there was a group of people that flew all around the world, and they went to 5 or 6 different stadiums around the world, and they took bits and pieces from all those stadiums to come up with our concept and our design here.
A lot of facilities, a lot of athletic programs around the nation have their refuel area, if you will. You guys call it the Waffle Shop. Obviously, there's a lot of significance and history behind the waffle trainer, but what happens here in the Waffle Shop?
The Waffle Shop is known for the waffle bottom of the shoes that's made. Bill Bowerman is a tinkerer and one of the designers of the Cortez, one of the running shoes there. And so the waffle...
I'm going to say I'd be disappointed if they don't sell waffles there. Can't call it a waffle shop without selling waffles there.
Well, did you see when they were doing the pictures before? They know all the head coaches.
Yeah.
And he said he likes his golf and he was stood with the golf club and flying a drone.
Yeah.
There was another one. I'm sure it looked like a waffle maker he had.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Maybe, looked like it was like waffles there next to it. Yeah.
Bottom that he took his wife's waffle iron and poured melted tire rubber in it. That's where the name is, and one of those attention to detail things.
Soul of the shoe.
But here, you can get anything. You can get anywhere from sandwiches to smoothies to mixed drinks. You can get a whole gamut of things there to make sure that you're fueling properly. You got your Gatorade machines here, and then if you go into the back there's cooking as well. So there's a cooking platform there. So not only do we just want to give you stuff, we want to help empower you so you can cook your own stuff when you're away from here. So there's cooking classes that are being taught here to help the athlete know what they need when they're away from Hayward Field.
All right, Coach, this is a state-of-the-art team lounge.
We never had anything like this. When they're asking me my ideas, I was like, I want a space to where the athletes can congregate, be around each other. My thinking behind that is the more we're around each other, the more we learn our differences, the more we can have real conversation and real talk, which I think is needed in America in these days. And you get an appreciation for where that person comes from. And if you have an appreciation for them and their differences, you have a lot more understanding. And that'll help us as an overall team with so many different diverse backgrounds and genders here in our program. So it was huge for us to be able to put this together, to have our kids come and be able to hang out. And this is nothing more than just a hangout spot for you to come and veg out, chill. Of course, be competitive. You know, we're all competitors. Behind us, you see the theater, kind of where all the magic happens, where we address the team there, and then our team ethos there on the back on what it means to be a Duck.
Which activity are the athletes playing with the most?
Oh, they're always with this Papa Shot. This gets lots of skills, even though I will say I'm undefeated on the ping pong table. Right now, we're in the women's locker room. Once again, there's 50 of these lockers, both men and women, and the men's locker room is identical to the women. But here in the locker, it's really important to make sure that they have all their needs. So if you open the mirror, you got all their charging ports, a little storage space for them to put their shoes, another little storage space for them to put their belongings, all their little back scrubber and soaps that we put together for them, as well as ventilation.
All right, because you usually don't put the word clean and equipment room in the same sentence, right? Yet this is the cleanest equipment room I've seen.
Right?
Yeah. Once again, we're in uncharted territories in my lifetime. Just look at the graphics there. Everything is track specific. And the thing that cues to me is the O floats. So as you're spinning around, it stays centered. So once again, one of those attention to detail things that people really thought everything about and putting this place together.
We've heard it from football, basketball. What is the significance of you guys being so tied in with Nike?
The guy that created and started Nike, Phil Knight, as well as Bill Bowerman, who was his coach, as well as one of the tinkerers in the Bowerman shoe. The history of Nike was started here. When you say the perks and the benefits of what we have here at the University of Oregon, like we truly eat, live, breathe Nike and its culture because it was birthed here in Eugene, Oregon. Well, once again, you're going to see ties. We talked about Nike and its ties here. Well, Jordan's has its tie here as well. Michael Jordan, me being a North Carolina native, is familiar with that. But the guy that helped create and start the Jordan brand is Tinker Hatfield. And Tinker Hatfield was a pole vaulter here at the University of Oregon. One of the things that we do with our team here is for NCAA championships, we want to make them feel special. We want to give them something because they've worked hard and made it to the national championship meet. So we like to reward them with a gift here. So these are just some of the custom Nikes that Tinker has created for us and our track and field program. And then of course, you have all of our colorways. I'd be shocked if you can find this at another track and field program with their colorways on all of their specialty spikes.
Now, let's make our way over here to, in my opinion, the best part of the facility.
Right now we're in Razor Bills. Once again, one of those terms that they came up with to keep everything Duck specific. So Razor Bills Barbershop. And because we're a men and women's program, we just can't do the things that you traditionally find in a barbershop for men. Here, you have a place where males and females can go and get their hair washed. You also have the barber chair here, manicure station with, of course, the world famous OPI nail polish, as well as a pedicure station for you to get your feet done now. I don't mess around with the manicures too much, but I'm a fan of getting my feet done. Definitely something that we wanted to cater to both genders of our program because it's special here and we want to make all of our athletes feel special. So one of those things that was included in here is both the men and women aspects of it.
What's your favorite hint in this barbershop?
I like the ducks on the cabinets. So if you look at the duck, he's really giving it to all their mascots in the Pac-12.
It is, isn't it?
All right, Coach, we're right outside of just an unimaginable stadium. Hayward Field, right? Outside, inside, what are some of your favorite nods? And what do you hear from others as they see this place?
It's tough to pick, but all the usable space that is athlete friendly. We're here on the concourse and we got 500 meters of covered space here that we can run around. Go down to the inside just to be able to get inside and be able to do whatever you need to do on the inside of the temperature control settings there. I've heard others say that for a minute in being here, it feels like I'm not in America. It feels like I'm somewhere in Europe in one of the stadiums there. So lots of good stuff all throughout Hayward.
Stadium.
Two things I want to discuss: the seating. First, all of the different colors in there, right? Because you usually don't see that. So the significance of that, but then also those.
Look at the seats as well. Like they're pretty good.
Plush, aren't they?
Nice
Look at that proper comfy seats, aren't they? Padded.
Yeah.
They're not your average seats either.
Yeah, those are 22-inch wide seats with cup holders and leather there to sit in. And so we're looking for a 5-star experience. You know, this is the theater for track and entertainment. And so not only are you gonna come and be entertained by what's going on, you're gonna enjoy the experience of luxury and having everything there. No more getting up to let people pass by because there's lots of space in front of you so your knees aren't jammed up into the seat in front of you. As far as the designs and the play on colors there is to break up a plain canvas, you know, to make it look busy there inside.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Coach Johnson, we appreciate you giving us a tour of Hayward Field. The new renovations put this place, I don't know, second to none maybe?
Yeah, I would say that if you start to poll people from around the world, that's going to be a very fairly common sentiment that you're going to end up with.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Coach Johnson, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you guys coming, and as always, go Ducks.
That is absolutely amazing.
It is, isn't it?
Why wouldn't anyone want to go there if they're with an invite or a scholarship?
I mean, I don't know how good Oregon are like track and field events.
I imagine in there probably with that kind of facility, they've got to be one of the best schools in the NCAA.
For track and field and stuff like that. Yeah, I would assume so after seeing that.
Yeah, it's that's kind of hard to turn down, isn't it? If you get for the scholarship to go there, but you think about just that $270 million for the track and field facility. Then they've got one of the best football facilities we've seen because we've seen inside the Ducks football facilities. Have you seen that one? Yeah. And then they'll probably have other programs, basketball. So, they're talking there at the barber shop just for the track. Is it only track and field people who can use that barber shop, or can the football team guys use it? Or
might be a whole separate facility for the. Might be another barber shop in the other facility.
I think they might have been actually. Now I think about it, but that's just. I mean, think about just all the facilities for sports they've got in these universities and colleges like this.
Yeah,
mad.
It's mad.
I'd love to have gone to a place like that.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd just be. I don't know. I'd be doing everything all day, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd be running in the morning, playing football in the afternoon, and
there's always something to do there, isn't there?
Yeah. That's mint. I really love that.
I do.
It's fantastic facilities for the students there. Just let us know in the comments as well if they are the #1 team in NCAA for track and field, and if there's any Olympians that have come from there.
Yeah, let me know.
In that program.
That'll be good to know.
Brilliant. Don't forget to get in on the Wrexham shirt as well. You know what to do, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.